Well, that didn't work, so we've now got part two. Yes, eBay. Oh, crops are coming on well. Part two, yeah, eBay. Crikey me. It is a good way of getting getting rid of things that you bought the wrong size, never got time to return. But it's a sharp learning curve in how much things are actually worth. But some things you'd be surprised. Being a former hoarder, as I probably was, I'd kept some little menu cards from a flight in 1980 and I decided to give them a whirl on eBay. £6, because people collect that kind of thing, and that kind of thing is stuff that should have just gone in the recycling. Mind you, I don't think we had it in the 80s, but obviously I won't get £6, but I might get a fiver in my bank account, which is stuff it would have just gone in the recycling. But then you've also got to consider the effort, the time spent listing, taking photographs, answering questions. Yeah, it's if you have a job where you do have some downtime, you can fill in the gaps, but then there's a lot of wrapping to do on an evening as well, and getting to the post office. And our village has a post office twice a week from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. and that's it. So unless you're going out and about, it's tricky. But you know, we've sold a car on eBay, we've sold all sorts, so it is worth giving it a go, especially in these times where money's tight, and your kids are outgrowing clothes faster than you can buy them, if they're still in good condition. But that's another thing, make sure you write everything down. If it's got bobbling or whatever, you need to mention it. So I tend to just sell the best stuff, really, because it gets a bit soul destroying when you're packing lots of items that have sold for 99p. So yeah, it's probably better off going to charity, because also the rags, you know, any ripped items or items with holes, you can put them in the rag bag, and most charities take rags, so I always do a separate bag and label it clearly as rags. So, you know, dishcloths, anything that you want to try and keep fabric out of landfill. So I do that, and obviously they've got to be clean, they can't be dirty rags, because somebody ultimately has to go through them. And I've worked in charity shops, I've done that job. So yes, it's all about recycling, really, isn't it? And somebody who, you know, is struggling financially can afford to buy the kids some new clothes that they couldn't probably afford to buy new. So it's definitely worth looking at if you have the time. If not, get it to the charity shop or pass it on to people with children the same age. That's always good to do. So yes, there's my public service announcement for eBay. However, I'm not just going to stop at eBay, actually. Hang on, I'm turning around. Olio, the food sharing app, is now doing selling, and you can list for free. Unfortunately, in my area, it's not that popular yet, so I don't think people know it exists. But there's that. I've never tried Vinted. So Vinted's another one. But there are lots of ways and means, so do give them a go. Just don't throw them in the bin, because even if you just put them in the rag bag, it keeps them out of landfill. And a lot of clothing these days has plastic in it, and that's just going straight into landfill. Oh dear. Are we grazing, miss?